3 weeks ago, we drank $6,000 worth of wine in one evening. If you missed the video, please check it up on the link here. But that was a dress rehearsal. Today, 3 weeks from that day, we drink over $10,000 worth of wine in one evening. So, in only 1 month, we drink almost $20,000 worth of wine. Crazy, huh? I spent less than $20,000 when I bought my used car, meaning I drink as much wine as my car's dollar value in 1 month. This is the proof that I'm crazy for wine. In this video, you will see how we drink my car's entire value. We do this blind, so Peter doesn't even know he is drinking expensive wines.
I ripped off the capsules completely. Otherwise, Peter may take a look at them and get to know what these wines are. For wine professionals, capsules, corks, and bottle shapes can be important clues to guess a wine's identity. I used Esso opener to open the bottles because these are old vintage wines. Old vintage wines' corks are often very weak, so you easily break them if you use normal wine opener. Then I decanted the wines one by one. There is always some sediment in old vintage wines, so I poured it in my glasses. These wines are so delicious, so even the sediment is delicious. I shouldn't pour it away. I cleaned all the bottles with clean water. Then I dried the bottles. This is the only workout that I regularly do to keep my shape. Then I poured back the wine in the original bottles. I closed the bottles using cheap corks to deceive Peter completely. Even if he sees the corks, it'll only make him more confused. I smelled every single cork to make sure that there is no cork taint problem at all. For Chateau Haut-Brion, I used a Kirkland cork. And for Chateau Lafite Rotschild, a Casillero del Diablo's cork. So only cheap corks. Now all is set for a grand blind tasting of the old vintages of the 5 Premier Grand Cru Bordeaux.
So today's education content, right?
No.
Oh.
The general public content. Peter,
Hello, Jay.
you said we are gonna have nice barbecue,
Absolutely.
right?
There's no such thing as not a nice barbecue.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So pretty much barbecue, which we as South Africans call braai vlees.
Braai vlees.
Braai vlees, translating grilled meat.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty much like a weekend.
It's weekend now.
Yeah, no, but the thing about weekends is when they're great, they're amazing.
Uh-huh.
And when they're not so great, they're still amazing. And that's braai vlees.
All right. But you told me it's gonna be really great.
It's going to be really great.
Really? Mm-hmm. Then why do we do this kind of tasting?
We got to work for it.
All right.
We got to deserve it. We got to earn it.
Uh-huh.
And we've got to tease our kind subscribers.
All right. Agreed.
Okay.
Okay, let's work a little bit.
All right.
All right.
Oh, by the way, this is work. Drinking great wine with a good friend on a beautiful, beautiful Southern California Saturday afternoon. Don't you feel sorry for me?
I feel sorry for my viewers. But our viewers always learn something from our video, I believe.
I hope so.
Yeah, we try.
Mm-hmm. I learned something from our videos.
Really?
Yeah. It's a beautiful opportunity to compare these wines. No matter how often you do it, there's always some little nuance, some little something that you get from it that helps you the next time. Yeah, it's good for us too.
I really enjoy tasting with you.
Yeah, likewise.
Okay, then let's work.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's have a braai a little bit later.
Okay.
So today we are gonna taste 5 red wines.
All right.
Those 5 red wines are from one greater area, one same greater area.
From a single greater area.
Yeah. And they may not be from the same subzones.
Okay, got it.
And that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
So you're not telling me anything about country, grape variety?
No.
Okay. Let's do it.
Right. Let's do it. So the first wine. I don't know which one is which one because my wife put the wines in the bags.
Okay.
All right, the first wine.
For sure it's red.
It's red.
These are nice glasses, huh?
Yeah.
I'm glad we standardized on these.
Yeah, finally.
See how we have the same glasses now? We're getting really professional.
Yeah, for our viewers.
Yeah. Standardizing on the glasses because glasses do make a difference. Not only is it nice, for me it's imperative to drink out of a nice shaped glass and a quality glass, but also if all the glasses are identical, you take one element of change out of the process. And so even when Jay and I are drinking out of different glasses, that in and of itself is not so important, except that with glasses, all the various aspects of the wine, depending on the kind of glass, they get fed to your senses in a different order. Now Jay and I are getting the same senses from the same wines in exactly the same order.
Only our physical bodies are different.
Really? I can't help it if he's small and puny. It's not my fault.
Your condition is good, Peter. That is good. And of course I changed the corks.
Yeah.
And then my wife told me she changed the corks again.
That'll keep you honest.
Oh yeah. Smells vinous.
It does too. Very interesting.
Interesting?
Yeah, not easy.
No?
No, not easy. They're difficult in the context of if they're multiple subzones because they are so similar,
Yeah.
all of the wines. So the question is, did we get the right major zone? That's the question. Then the subzones are much more difficult.
Okay.
Let me go through the process of trying to decide on the major zone. And then if we get that right, then I can go through other parts of it.
Okay.
So I looked at the wines and smelled them before I even tasted them. And it seemed to me that there were not any, one or two had slightly deeper red colors. But for the most part, there were some earth tones and there were not really deep red wines. Okay. So I looked at those and I said, okay, what kind of wines would give you those colors potentially? I also thought that the wines had a little bit of age on them. So I thought, okay, what could we possibly be looking at here? The first thing that jumped out at me was a bunch of Sangiovese based wines from Tuscany, some Bordeaux, something from Piedmont, and Rioja. Those were the things that jumped out at me. Now the question was, how do we tell between them? Okay, so not Piedmont for sure.
Why not?
These wines all had tannin, but they didn't have Piemontese tannins.
Okay.
So not Piedmont. Okay. So then I was looking and I was saying, okay, Rioja. I didn't pick up the dusty New World oak and the sort of higher lifted fruitiness of Rioja. And the tannins were there and they were quite savory, the wine, so not Rioja.
Okay.
So leave me with Bordeaux and Tuscany, accepting the fact that in Tuscany, in any of the appellations of Tuscany, with the exception of Montalcino, you can have a certain amount of Bordeaux varieties. They don't even have to put it on the label. You can have some Merlot, you can have Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah if you want. And so I'm trying to fiddle through these. Can it be Bordeaux? The wines were in many ways very similar. For the Sangiovese based wines, I'm looking at the colors, and usually for me the colors are less red than this.
Less red than this.
Less red than this. There's more earth colors. But the wines seem to have some age. And I think that's throwing me off a little bit.
You're right, Peter. They are all aged wines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's throwing me off a little because I was looking for overt yeasty, bready characteristics from the reds if they were Bordeaux, and looking for the current vintage that's on sale, that's 2018 or 2016, 2015, and there would be bready characters there, which I didn't get. But then again, looking at them from the perspective of Sangiovese, I would expect the colors to be more muted, more earth colors. And I'm embarrassed to say that it's not to me that obvious on the nose and the palate, because the wines are quite savory, which could be Bordeaux or Sangiovese. So the question then is,
Yeah, I also think they are quite savory.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost all of them.
So the question then is, how do I come down on choosing it? I think one of the main things is the color of the wine. There are more than a few wines, 3 or 4 of the 5 wines have got deeper ruby colors, which is what worried me for a diagnosis of Sangiovese. It's really, for me, not easy. I would have thought, how can one struggle between Chianti, Sangiovese, and Bordeaux? So
Because I planned to make you struggle.
yeah, okay, well, you succeeded. So in the end, to be quite honest, without a great deal of confidence, I'm going to come down on the side of Bordeaux.
Great.
For 2 reasons. One, because the colors are slightly more ruby, and then because there is a certain amount of, in the legs, a certain amount of extract.
That is true. Yeah.
And I'm used to Sangiovese having 0 extract. But none of these had very deep extract. So I thought, okay, it could be Sangiovese with just a little bit of extract, you know, the color in the tears. Anyway, that was an unfriendly thing to do, but there we are.
All right. Yeah, they're all from Bordeaux.
Okay, all right. Now we have to pick subzones.
Yeah, we have to pick subzones.
All right. So let me go back and pick some subzones.
Okay, no problem.
You know, I'm looking for the classic zones.
5 zones.
Those 5 zones. But you know, could it be a Santamino and a Pomerol? I don't think like I pick up predominantly Merlot-based wines here.
Okay.
So are we looking at the 5 classic areas of the left bank? I think that's where I'm going to go.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
You're right.
Okay.
You're right, Peter.
Okay. Yeah, they all seem to me to be largely Cabernet Sauvignon based left bank wines.
Oh.
Now it's scary that there's one from each of those zones, because now I'm starting to look for first growths.
Well, it's quite impressive because you didn't go to the right bank even with one of them.
No, there was, to me, no Merlot wine here.
Okay.
One Merlot color, if you could take, but no Merlot wine. Okay, so let me go through them.
Yeah, certainly they are getting better and better.
Yeah, getting better and better. The wines were getting better and better. I would expect the most pedestrian wine and the one to be the chunkiest and the most foursquare to come from Saint-Estèphe. However, the one with the best perfume and all the rest of it, I would expect to come from Margaux. The most complete wine, the one that's got it all, I would expect to come from Pauillac. The one that is the most elegant, even sort of tending to the lightness and trying to coax the fruit out of it, I would put in the Grave.
I see you are enjoying this.
I love it, but I don't want these people to think, what is he doesn't know what he's doing.
I give you one more information. They're from 3 different subzones.
It's not going to help me. You know how difficult this is, Jay? This is the most... I thought you were my friend.
What are you talking about?
I thought you were my friend. Okay.
And what do you think about the quality?
Good.
All of them?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. All of them, the quality is good and getting better
Getting better.
in the glass. I don't love the vintages. I prefer younger wines because I'm sure there's no 18s here and I'm sure there's no 16s here. And so I don't love the vintages, but yeah, the quality is good, as I say, and getting better.
When I prepare some younger vintages, you complain about it wanting older vintages, softer ones. And when I prepare older vintages, you want younger vintages.
So I don't know, maybe I'm not allowed to talk to your subscribers, our subscribers like this. I do prefer to commit statutory rape than necrophilia. That's difficult English to understand.
Statutory rape?
In this country, statutory rape is to take advantage of a lady who's too young legally to consent.
Okay.
Necrophilia is making love to a corpse.
Okay. Wow.
If I have to go to court to answer for high crimes against wine, let it be for statutory rape, in other words, drinking something too young, and not necrophilia, drinking something that's old and dead.
Okay.
Okay, so when you're drinking classed growth Bordeaux, and that's classed growth Bordeaux is a very special part of that because they have to be aged. In general, I don't believe in aging wine.
No.
I'm an iconoclast. I do not believe in aging wine. All my compadres would be absolutely outraged by that. I do not believe in aging wine. If it tastes good, drink it. And we're seeing something else. What we're seeing is, as the wines breathe, they're getting better and better.
Yeah.
One last little taste. Okay?
Right, no problem.
You're making me drunk. Huh? And I'm loving it.
Cheers, cheers. Cheers, Peter. Can we talk about one by one?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The first wine?
So the first one, obviously they all have some age. The first one is the lightest of the lot, and yet there's still some ruby character, which is why, because as you know, I battled between Chianti or Sangiovese based wines and Bordeaux, and eventually it was the ruby that sort of more ruby character because there's some age on these wines.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a cruel trick, okay? This wine is extremely elegant, and I love Gras for its elegance. However, it's also got amazing perfume, and I love Margaux for the perfume. These wines are changing all the time. Beautiful wine, subtle, complex, nuanced. You guys watch Jay and I all the time, and I make no apologies for being a guy that's much more cares about nuances and subtlety than I do about power and punch. It is not bad to like power and punch. Some of the most beautiful wines out there have power and punch. Just to think of a couple, typically Chateauneuf-du-Pape and Amarone, but I'm a subtlety freak.
I know.
And this one has it in spades. Yeah.
This one hasn't.
Has it in spades. Plenty, plenty, plenty. So do you want to show that one, or should we go through them all?
Let's go through them all.
Okay.
Wine number 2.
Pretty much wine number 2 and wine number 1 look the same. Actually, they all look very much the same. They've all got that slightly ruddy character. This one even has this sort of Sangiovese kind of iodine on the nose.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. It's powerful. The tannins are a little high, but the wine is growing into those tannins. As I said, they keep getting better.
So, is this a good one?
They're all good.
They're all good?
There's no crap wine here.
Okay.
Each one of these very complex.
Okay.
Very seriously made. So seriously made and so subtle that it takes a while for them to grow in the glass. And no matter how much the age on the wines, these are wines that, oh man, do I look forward to drinking them later because they're just getting better and better and better.
All right. So, if we say good, very good, excellent.
Between very good and excellent. That's not to say that there may not be some excellent properties in here. I'm not sure I really love the vintages.
Okay.
So between very good and excellent. Whatever it is, these are winemakers that know what they're doing and that they had plenty of money to spend.
Okay. All right. Number 3?
There's a Margaux in here, right?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't taste like the Margaux anymore. It's an interesting sort of thing. It's like Goldilocks. Pauillac doesn't do any one thing the best, but the package for Pauillac is the best. Number 4, I think is Pauillac. I mean, is Margaux.
Number 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Margaux too.
And then number 5, back to Pauillac. These are serious wines, Jay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what do you think about the number 4?
Aside from the fact that I think it's Margaux, for sure it needs some time. If I try to think through its future, the bouquet will improve. It's already balanced. To my mind, a high-level wine. Chateau Margaux, not sure. Probably not, but a high-level wine. Not cheap.
Why don't you think it can be Chateau Margaux?
You know, the problem is with things like that is we have these wines and we hold them in such esteem. And if we ever confronted with those wines, we think, oh, we know them to be so good. Is this really that good? And am I lucky enough to drink one of the great wines of the world on a beautiful Saturday afternoon here with Jay? Do you want me to say it's not Margaux? No. But maybe second growth, something like that. If you told me now it's Chateau Margaux or a first growth, I'm okay with that.
Right. That makes me feel happy.
Okay.
Right. And number 5?
Another beautiful wine that just needs time. It's balanced, it's round, it's smooth. The fruit's a little shy. It sits in the glass, it gets better. You know, when you first tasted these wines, I got the sense that they were good, better than good. And now I'm getting the sense that they are better than good.
So probably we should wait for another 2 or 3 hours?
No. I think what we should do is finish this so that we can finish this. Because yes, I think that the quality of the wines demands that we wait, but the serious thirst demands not. We need to be drinking these, making our barbecue before we fall over.
I believe this is my first time to see you not spit out.
No, I'm not spitting these. And I haven't been for quite a while.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's impressive.
No. And I promised myself this morning I would spit. But you get wines like this that are evolving in the glass all the time and becoming better and better and more refined. And you say, unless I'm really drunk or something, you say, this is why we do this.
Oh, yeah.
This is why we do this. So I hope I'm right. I hope I'm not embarrassing myself. But our job is to assess quality.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
quality's there.
The quality is there.
Yeah.
So do you think they are already quite aged?
No.
No?
Yes, they are quite aged. But are they aged enough? No.
Okay.
Maybe with big decanters we can age them enough so that by the time the worsies are cooked. Fortunately, we have slightly bigger glasses here. And when we finish this, we'll put them in really big glasses. I would like to tell you all, we put them in really big glasses to develop the bouquet and to age them faster, but now it's to have more. To have more quickly before he gets it all. And besides which, we're going to bring our wives into the program now. Who knows how much these people will drink?
Yeah. So probably 5 bottles won't be enough. For
I have some ideas of what to open.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Peter. So do you want to see?
Absolutely,
Yeah?
I want to see. Yeah.
Okay. So you think they are pretty good wines?
They're a damn good wines. Excuse my language. Yeah.
Damn good wines.
Damn good wines. No, I don't want to do that.
이럴 땐 이 와인 네이버 밴드로 놀러 오시면 와인을 잘 몰라도 편하고 싸게 사실 수 있도록 제가 많이 도와드립니다. 다들 만족하시고 좋아하시더라고요.